All right. Well, we are back with the long-form interview of collections. Today, we are going to be taking a peek at your collection, the Indy Thrifter. So we are excited to see the pieces that you have. We have a couple pieces out here, and then we have some more behind us that we'll get into. But yeah, where do you want to start off? Do you want to start here with some of these band tees?
Yep, sounds good. Sounds good. So the first one that we have, I actually found this on the racks with all kinds of just 80s band tees. And I kept it because it kind of gives me like Mosquito Head vibes. Yeah. Like, so, you know, and David Bowie, I just think that it was just a super sick one. Super small, doesn't fit me, but yeah, I just thought that one was really cool. I've never found David Bowie stuff, so definitely had to hold on to that one. I thought it was super sick.
This got great wear on it, and yeah, Bowie's just like an icon that you don't see a lot of.
Right.
But yeah, that one's a cool one. And before we get too far into it, I saw this one on your Instagram. Where can people find you on Instagram to kind of follow along with this as they're going through?
Yeah, so my Instagram is the Indy Thrifter. My eBay store is also the Indy Thrifter. So if you want to go check that out as well, you can. So yeah.
Support her on eBay as well so we can continue to do these episodes.
I know this was another rack find. I was just on my way home and I was like, I'm just going to run in real quick. And it was like, they had just put it on like, you know, the t-shirt wall. I'm not even a huge Rolling Stones fan. This graphic is just like insane to me. So yeah, that's why I held on to that one. Let's see, up next, this is probably like one of my favorite t-shirts in my collection. I grew up on Pearl Jam, so it's one of my favorite bands. I found this at the bins and like 5 years ago, you know, got home and I started noticing the back of it is like places in Canada. And I found out it's like a Canadian tour version. And I can't find one anywhere online. So I thought that one was super sick. Next, another bins find. Super stained. I couldn't get the stains out of it. It's a 1981 ZZ Top Road Crew shirt. I just think that the graphic on it is just awesome. Actually, my mom was with me when she found it, and when I pulled it up, I'm like, Mom, look at this shirt. And then she's like, that's ZZ Top. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice the name on it, just the graphic. Yeah. So, you know, my mom's really who got me into thrifting. So there's some pieces I've held on to when we went on trips together and like thrifted. So yeah, that's just one of the pieces. It's like a nostalgic, kind of cool, obscure piece. So this one is, I collect some of the Caricature like Salem tees. Yeah. And I found this at the bins and it just kind of gives me that same vibe. But you know, it's of course Bobby popping off. But yeah, just really cool. I don't know. I favor Purdue, but I do like, you know, IU gear too. I think it's just a cool thing to collect being an indie. Like, why wouldn't I?
And then I see another Caricature one here. Tell me a little bit more about this one.
So I found this at the bins. I think this is one I actually have on a blank right now of this tag. I just think this is one of the like more cool fitting tees for me, being shorter. But yeah, I found this at the bins, and when I initially pulled it, I was like, oh man, it's Marshall Faulk. Like, that's sick. I've never found a Marshall Faulk piece. And then I noticed it's actually signed by him. And I was like, that is just crazy. Like, I feel like any of the Explosion tees are really crazy, in my opinion. But yeah, I had to keep it. I thought that was just really cool. So, cool colors. My friend Aiden, he's like probably like my best friend in the vintage community. He pulled this, and I was over at his house, and he was like, yeah, I was trying to clean this old shirt, this old Champion shirt, but I don't really know what to do with it. Like, Oxy didn't help it. I don't know. And then I was like, let me see it. And it was a Ball State, and I didn't have any Ball State stuff. And I was like, I have to get that. So he definitely threw me a really good deal on it. But yeah, that one's just a super sick one. And yeah, shout out Aiden. Yeah. My guy.
This is one that in Chili's episode we talk a little bit about, like, we're a primarily red school, so to see like blue sleeves on it is awesome. The Champion blue blur, and it's like it's got great color to it.
Oh yeah.
You know, whatever he did with the Oxy got it to be like the right color. This is, and it's like it's a wearable size too. A lot of the old Champion stuff you don't see necessarily is like as good of size. And right down the road from Ball State, I'm assuming this is Anderson. From around Anderson.
Yeah. This was another just Ben's find.
Wait, I'm noticing a trend here.
Right. Right.
Okay, maybe the Oxy wasn't a little bit new because I didn't notice that maybe is the white color, but sorry to cut you off there. What is a little bit more background behind this one?
Honestly, I just picked it at the bins and I was like, hey, it's another college on, the Indiana list that I can check off. So that's ultimately why I kept it. I don't have any ties to Anderson or anything, but just another cool piece of history. You don't see Champion Blue Bars every day. You don't pull those every day. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite tees in my collection, just because, it is IU. IU is what it is. But just a really cool one. I wish it was a bigger size. I found this on the racks. Again, I was not even planning on thrifting. I went out to eat and I was like, I'm just going to run up to this store. And it came fresh on a rack like as soon as I walked in. So just super sick. Love the date on it. So pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a cool one. I love that it has the date on it, like what year it's from. But then their rival, I see two pieces here. Mm-hmm. I'll hand you one and we can show the other one as well. Tell me a little bit more about your relationship with Purdue and why you're such a big fan.
So growing up, there was a girl that went to my sister's high school, Katie Gerald's, and she was a basketball player, super good or whatever, and then she went off from Beech Grove to Purdue, and like basketball growing up was like everything to me, and so I really like idolized her, and she was a local, so it was really cool, and that's kind of where it started, was with the basketball. Then I started going to the women's games, so I have a bunch of Purdue women's gear, like just that I collect all the time. But I pulled this one. This was a minute ago when I got this one. That's on an 80s tag. But and it was a school I wanted to go to. I never actually end up getting to go, but life took a little different of a path. But I'm still a diehard Purdue fan, so it's pretty cool.
Well, it's awesome hearing some of those stories that go into it. The why someone is a fan of a team or a particular, school. Or
whatever.
But
Yeah,
so that's a little taste of the Blue Bar Champion collection. This is kind of a little bit more sporadic or maybe a little bit more random, but I see this one is one that would catch anybody's eye.
Oh, yeah.
What is the background here? What's going on with this t-shirt?
So, I found this at the bins, and when I initially got it, I was like, oh, okay, it's, it's a weed tee, pretty cool, talks about Prohibition, and, then when you flip it, it just has all these dates. I guess this was like a cannabis action or whatever, and they were going to all these places. So there's like the Grateful Dead is on there, Taste of Chicago, Lollapalooza, just really, really cool. And yeah, it's still pretty relevant today, this tee is. So I thought it was just a cool one. And yeah, I just like the safer than aspirin, says federal judge.
Well, and then it's got this I don't know if the camera can see
like
that.
A puff
some
print.
Of that puff print on it. Yeah, that's and it's in good condition.
Oh
yeah. This is stuff that over time wears down. But I wonder if this was, they had it at events and never sold this one, and then it kind of just got put away.
Yeah, because you can tell it kind of has like storage stains on it.
Yes.
Like it's not necessarily
because it almost isn't
cool.
like in a box.
Yeah, right.
Too,
like it was folded up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then another one that catches eyes is this Harley Davidson. Are you a big Harley fan? Or?
I definitely grew up with my family loving Harley. My aunt and her husband had Harleys. Their whole basement was decked out in it. So I just thought it always makes me think of her too when I see Harley stuff. I have a pretty decent 3D emblem collection as well that I didn't add in here. But this one I had never seen until I pulled it and I was looking it up. But I love earth tees as well, and I just thought with the earth in the center and it's just a crazy t-shirt. And it's from Oregon. I feel like I've never found a Harley tee from Oregon, so that's cool,
This one doesn't have a tag, but let's hear a little bit more about this one. This one's got a little bit of duality going on.
Yeah, this was I've pulled a majority of these, if not all of them. This one was a rack pull, and it was one I wanted for a long time. Just super crazy how it just bleeds into the colors on the back, and the distressing on the neck. I wore this for a photo shoot, and with a really colorful background, and the pictures were just insane because this out in the sunlight was just it was so vibrant and nice. So I don't hold on to a lot of liquid blue tees, but this one I was I'm definitely holding on to this because it's just super, super fire.
And then this is one I've never seen before, but I know you have an interesting story behind it. hear a little bit more about that.
I was like so excited. I know everybody in the store was like, what is going on? Like this tomato t-shirt, what is going on? So growing up, my mom always had this funny story about her favorite t-shirt from when she was a teenager. And it basically says, you know, handpicked for Firmness. And, you know, and so she always would talk about it. And one day I was at the rack store and I found it and I'm like, I keep reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I mean, it's so funny because it just makes you wonder, like, whose was this? You know what I mean? Like, it's dated 1979 and that's about the time she probably would have wore it. And it just makes you wonder, like, you know, what's circulating all the time? Could this have been hers? Who knows?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see this exact t-shirt that I've heard about since I was a kid, and now like to find it, it's just so cool.
Yeah, and then it's got like the old like 70s,
really
early
like
80s crunchy iron-on like thing. So I'm like, maybe some farmer wanted it for some reason. It's interesting, and it's like someone took the time to design this or get this printed.
Right.
So it's got a cool story, and it's got the cool connection with your mom as
right.
well. So
yeah. It's so funny. It's a really good one.
And pick for Firmness. That might be one of the weirder ones we've seen, but definitely still interesting. And it's on that like it's on a good T-shirt as well.
Oh yeah, honestly, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a cool one. This one related to chili. You know, we kind of talk about the connections. Mm-hmm. This is one that would have fit really well in Chili's collection. But tell me a little bit about your connection with the Wizard of Oz and also how you have two of these.
So, growing up, The Wizard of Oz was a movie that me and my dad always watched together. I had it on VHS, and we literally probably watched it like 2 or 3 times a week. I was obsessed with it. So I always just think of him when I see Wizard of Oz stuff. But it was pretty crazy. I was at the bins, and I was about to hit a bin, and I could tell there was a bunch of like dead stock blank white tees that I could see. Ended up not making it to the bin in time. Someone else got it, and it was a bunch of those Big Johnson. You know what Big Johnson is? Yeah. It was a bunch of those. So I just keep looking around, and basically I hit a bin that was down the way, and it had both of these in it and like a anime t-shirt. It was crazy, a Fashion Victim anime. So It was super sick to find these, and I think Stanley DeSantis stuff is like already just really, really dope. And so to have it not on that tag, on the that's another tag I like, softy tags.
Good, yeah.
So yeah, 1992, really cool, super cool print. I feel like, I don't know. I just think this print is really, really cool, and I love that it has the Wicked Witch on there.
All right, and now pivoting into, we're not there yet, but we're starting to transition into the Nike stuff. I know you have all Nike on right now.
Yeah.
I followed suit as well. I knew that your collection would be Nike, so to pay homage, I wore some Nike as well. But let's get into these 3 pieces. I'm curious to hear a little bit about, like, there's a lot of information behind Nike. There's different eras of tags and different eras of, Nike, Jordan. What was it that piqued your interest about Nike specifically? Like, was there someone that influenced you in, like, fashion, or was it just you gravitated toward it from a young age?
Yeah, honestly, young age. I just felt like growing up, Nike was like, Nike just makes, clothing for all sizes, and it was one of the only brands that like made me feel really comfortable in clothing. And still to this day, as you can see, I wear like Nike everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a thing, and some of the stuff I have in my collection that's Nike I've had since high school, and so yeah, I love the way it fits, and I've wore it since I was a kid, so that's basically why I stick with it, I guess. Yeah.
Which one do you want to start off with out of these 3?
Let's start off with this one, just because it's funny. So I hit a bin, and it had a bunch of like 70s and 80s t-shirts in it. And one of the t-shirts is a Kawasaki t-shirt, and you can see that it like pressed on. I found the Kawasaki t-shirt too, and it was like stuck on it, so it must have been, heat or something. Yeah. But, it's got probably some mouse chews in it. But I didn't know at first. I thought it was just an Olympic t-shirt, and then I like threw it in my cart, and I saw the back hit, and I was like, oh my God. And then, I went back and I found that it was a blue tag, Nike, mid 80s. So can't really ask for more as a Nike collector. I think that's just a really, really dope piece. Condition, not being mint, but still a cool piece. So
yeah.
Do
you have a favorite Nike tag out of all of them?
If we're just saying looks wise, I think the blue tag is so sick. Like that's that dark blue. But fit wise, definitely the white tag, like the, you know, yeah.
Like
I'll show a white. Yeah.
All right.
This one is pretty cool. Don't really know much on it. I found this back in 2016 when the Shadeland bins were still open. And I hit like a whole bin and it had just a bunch of 90s Nike stuff. And then I found this one and it was on like that cloth Hanes, you know, early 80s tag probably. And I was going to throw it back. So I was like, oh, it's not really Nike. Like I'm just going to throw it back. I was newer, you know. But I was like, no, I'm just going to hold on to it. And so, you know, I just want to know where it came from. Like the pro basketball kind of has like the Celtics kind of colors. Like it was giving me that kind of vibe. So yeah. And then this is my favorite tag is the white tag. This one is super just beat up. You could tell whoever had this was a painter. Again, my friend Aiden, I was late to a rotation. He called me. He's like, you're going to hate me. I just found a bunch of Nike. And so I get there, and I personally have never found a vintage ACG by myself that I haven't paid for. But yeah, this back hit is insane. And so he was like, it's an ACG tee. And I was like, all right, I'm buying it. I don't care the price. Of course, he threw me a good deal. He always does. But this is just a really, really fire one that, again, I hadn't seen until I saw it, you know, in hand.
Yeah, and then the ACG stuff, it doesn't come around that often, which is crazy because I feel like it was so popular at that point in the 90s, but yeah, you don't see it very often, so it is very cool to see these, and for some reason, I think because like the people that were wearing them were active, they always have stains,
always
like really
ripped or something,
but I think that's just a testament to like what Nike was saying, like they're like, go out and do stuff in this, and obviously someone did something in this with their working in the sun all day painting.
They loved it, that's for sure.
Yes, they loved it. And now it's in your collection and you love it. So thank you so much for letting us see these pieces. We have a lot more pieces behind us that we're going to get to. But yeah, this was awesome to see these t-shirts, hear your stories behind all of them. So thank you for that.
Yep.
Stick around. We're going to get to all of these in just a second, and we'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah, so I actually, like I said earlier, some of them I've had since high school, and it never was really to collect them. It was kind of just like any teenager. I went to the thrift store and just got the comfiest sweatshirts I could find. I didn't really start like getting really into it until the last, I would say, year or so. Perfect timing for when the market shot up, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I guess technically I've been collecting really since I guess I started reselling, but heavy in the last like year or so. So this one, yeah, I got this in high school. I wore it all the time. It's definitely a little bigger on me now, but it's on that really nice white tag with just the swoosh. Super cozy. And yeah, I actually forgot about it, and then I was cleaning out my old room at my parents' and I found it. So I thought that one was really cool. But yeah. So I kind of, whatever one I can get my hands on for a good price, I will, just because of how Nike auctions are and stuff now. So as you can see, I have like 3 different shades of the sage one. But yeah, I definitely started to find out the more I was collecting that Nike has very many different shades of every single color. So my goal is to hopefully get all of the shades of every color. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, there was just 4 of just red. So it's definitely a lot out there, but yeah. Honestly, probably the sage one. And like I said, I bought 2 of them just for really cheap online, but I pulled one. I had been talking about this so much, and I ended up pulling it at the racks, and that was pretty crazy to only have to pay $5 versus like $500. Yeah. But yeah, that was probably this one. Just because of the color, I just think it's such a dope color, and it goes with so many things I have. So yeah, I was definitely hyped to find that one. Yeah. I was trying to like add it up the other day, and I'm pretty sure like all of these, I've thrifted all of them, but like 8 or 9 of them. Basically. And yeah, it's kind of just it's like a battle within myself, because I know that I'm thrifting so much that I don't really need to pay up, and like I know they'll just eventually come to me. But yeah, so probably about 8 or 9 of them I would say I had to buy outright. But yeah, this one's really cool. I've got this one at the bins. I just feel like the black sleeves on it just like hit different. I feel like if it wasn't for the black sleeves that I wouldn't have held on to this one. It's definitely like a bigger fit as well, But yeah, super sick one. And you know, it's always nice and has that really thick feel to it as well. I just purchased this one. This is the one I just recently posted about. It's the like indigo color, that's what they call it. And you know, at first I thought the swoosh was black, but yeah, you know, it's on that good white tag, made in USA, super plush. And this is actually one I did not think it was gonna take me a long time, because I've only personally seen like 2 or 3 people post this color. But yeah, he's always looking out for me and always sending me stuff. And it was funny, me and him had just been speaking, and then he went to I guess a rack store, and he found this, and then he was like, hey. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. And then this one's pretty cool. I got this from I'm trying to think of his name, Louisville, Retroville. I want to say his name starts with an S. Shane. Yeah. He pulled this a long time ago, and at the time, you know, they weren't popping like that, so I think I paid him like $100 for it, which was a lot, but like, I was like, oh, this is just crazy. This yellow is a super cool color, and it's been one that I've had. It definitely has its spots, and it's not perfect, but super cool one. Love the fit of it, so yeah. Yeah, they're all just basic. Like this one, I guess, is a little different. This is the one I got off Chance. I don't typically collect the ones that have that kind of like graphic on it, but it was cool just to be like you know, a nice little brown color. And then I actually thrifted this one at like a mom and pop store, and for $1, and it doesn't have a check or anything. It's like a mock neck, super weird. Doesn't really fit me the best, but again, I just held on to it for trading purposes too. Someone will want it. But yeah, probably the most valuable out of my browns is the one that I got from Vintage Vibe. And yeah, it's just the tonal, nice little light brown hoodie. Yeah.
All right, well, we got to see the t-shirts, we got to see the crew necks and the hoodies, and hear a lot of really cool stories and your perspective on collecting and on your collection specifically. So thank you so much. Check Haleigh out on Instagram at the Indy Thrifter, shop with her on eBay, and we're excited to see your collection keep going and, you know, maybe revisit in the future. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of this. It was dope.
Yeah, of course. And check out other episodes of Collections on our YouTube, and we'll see you guys for the next episode.